Are you planning to visit the Philippines anytime soon, or this will be your first time to travel to the Philippines and you'd like to get to know what are the travel restrictions, what are the arrival protocols? Watch this video so that you will find out the basics about what are the things that you have to take into consideration if you plan to travel back in the Philippines and you are from another nationality or you would like to be a tourist in our country. Is it something that is allowed already in our country? That's something that you will find out from this video. So watch and find out. Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. This is Jamey Iris TALK TV and I am Jamey Iris, who simply wants to bring you travel updates as well as basic information about our country, the Philippines. What are the basic protocols? What are the policies, the rules that you have to abide by, especially when you want to visit our country or visit again, just in case you have been in our country before. Now, for foreign tourists, are you allowed already to travel to our country? Because of the restrictions in place, so there are certain protocols that we have to follow. So who among the foreign nationals are actually allowed to travel back to the Philippines? So that's something that we will answer for today. By the way, if we have fellow Filipinos who are watching this channel, I just simply want to tell you, just in case you're wondering, why is this not in the Filipino or Tagalog language? It's simply because this is a special episode that I have prepared especially for our foreign nationals who would like to get to know more about the protocols in the Philippines as well as the travel guidelines, so that at least they can actually prepare for it if they would want to visit and if the restrictions are already lifted. And if you're wondering, Jamey, we actually would want to listen again to your Tagalog frequently asked questions. Will you not be having any? I definitely will, and I do have it every day. So you simply have to go to my YouTube channel and you can watch many Tagalog videos that we have I made specially for you. However, for this video, this is in English again, just like what I've mentioned, as requested especially by our subscribers who are from another country or another nationality. And please feel free, if you would like to listen as well to this episode, please feel free to join us. By the way, if this is your first time to join us for this episode or for my channel, I simply want to say welcome, and at the same time I'm inviting you to please subscribe to my channel so that you'll get updated with the latest travel guidelines, tutorials, and other videos that I usually prepare for all of you, so that we can discuss, we can talk about important matters and important topics that will be relevant to anyone who would like to visit the Philippines, and even it can help you when it comes to your career and even personal life. Yes, so we have a lot of segments that will be upcoming this 2022, and looking forward that I will definitely be able to spend time with all of you and share those videos. For this particular episode, this is what we call the frequently asked questions, wherein I try to answer the questions that our viewers actually are leaving in my comment boxes, because just like what I've said earlier, sometimes protocols, rules and regulations, although you might have read it for the first time or might have read it and watched it from, for example, the TV, there's still some small information that you might need further clarification upon, or just a little bit of more explanation, and that's what we do here in this channel. So I try to answer basic questions or other questions that our viewers have, so that at least they will have and they will feel confidence as well when it comes to traveling, because with too many things that you have to prepare, you know that when you travel, plus this pandemic crisis, plus the complexity of the RT-PCR test requirements and so forth and so on, well, at least someone can clarify that for you, because it keeps on changing so fast. And it's the same with our country, everyone. So the protocols change so fast. The platforms that we use online for online registration, sometimes it changes so fast. The requirements, so forth and so on. So all of those we will be discussing in my channel. So if there are any changes, that's the time I prepare tutorials. And if there are some clarifications that we need to actually give, then we will give that to also to all of you. And should you have some questions and again some suggestions, please feel free. You can always write it down on the comment box and I will read it so that at least we can see what questions or concerns that you might have and even suggestions that we can take into consideration. Okay, great. So with that, let us just take a look what our subscribers have left in my comment box. From Annie Del Rosario, she said, "Thank you so much, Miss Jamey, for all your effort to help the travelers. God bless you for your concern for many people. Stay blessed." Thank you so much. You are most welcome, first and foremost, Annie, and thank you so much too for the declaration of blessing in my life. I receive it, and that's such a precious gift for me, and I am simply so glad to help you and the rest of our fellow men, and even for foreigners as well. And from Joy Weger of Germany, she said, "Thank you, Miss Jamey, for the new updates. Be safe and God bless." You are most welcome, Joy, and thank you for always watching my video vlogs as well. I really appreciate it and for supporting the YouTube channel. And of course, from John Sarip, he said, "Very inspiring watching from Amsterdam, Holland." Hi, John, and hi, everyone from Holland, Amsterdam. I simply am very glad that you are watching the channel, and I'm glad that we are all together, getting to know. Well, I'm simply so glad that all of you are watching my channel, and at the same time, I just simply want to say thank you for the support. God bless you all, and looking forward to see you in every episode that I have. So let's start answering some of the questions. Let's start with Arlene Taylor. "Hi, Miss Jamey. I just tested positive today and no symptoms at all. A little sniffles. My question is, isn't it true that if you tested positive, you don't need to quarantine when you arrive in the Philippines? I'm dual citizen and planning to travel in the month of May. Can you enlighten me, please? Thank you, and God bless." Hi, Arlene, and thank you so much for visiting my channel. Well, first and foremost is I just simply want to say I'm sorry to hear that you tested positive. Looking forward that you will recover fast and rest well. Now, regarding your concern, if you tested positive, now I actually just have created a video from the latest protocols that we have regarding this one. If anyone tested positive prior or for the pre-departure swab test, you can actually still visit the Philippines after you get a negative swab test from your country of origin. Just in case you were cleared by the physician or a medical practitioner and still you tested positive, then you have to present what we call a medical certification that you're cleared and you are cleared from COVID-19, and that will be enough for you to visit the Philippines. However, once you're here in the Philippines, you will have to actually complete certain quarantine period in the hotel facility, and you have to be swab tested again. So if you are coming, so I was trying to take a look at what country are you from. Okay, so you were not able to mention. So if you, for example, will be coming from a green country, if you're coming from a green country, you're fully vaccinated, usually with the protocol that we have, you can go back home like straight. But since you tested positive prior going to the Philippines and you just like recovered, then you will be asked to still do the quarantine. You will still be asked to do a quarantine equivalent to the quarantine of fully vaccinated from the yellow list countries. So that means that will be equivalent to at least 6 days in the quarantine hotel, and then on the 5th day you will be swab tested. So again, as long as the negative result is released, then you can actually go back to your home country. So again, to answer your question, there is still quarantine in the hotel if you came from a country and you tested, you came from your country of origin and you tested positive from your first, swab test. If you have some more questions, Arlene, let me know so I could help answer it. Thank you. From Maurice Jimenez, "Hello, Miss Jamey. Thank you so much for all the information and effort just to share and give the right info for us. Miss Jamie, I just want to ask, do you have a link for me to print the certificate of undertaking? Seafarer, I'm a seafarer here. Thank you so much. Maris, I don't have a link for the copy of the certificate of undertaking. However, you don't need to worry because in the airport, they will give you a copy of it. So everyone is being given a copy, and all you have to do is fill up those empty spaces that actually the airport personnel will tell you. And since you're a seafarer, on the upper right hand corner of the certificate of undertaking, you simply have to write down your manning agency's name, and all will be good. From California, Dream, hello. Does this vax mandate apply in Cebu or only in NCR? Thanks, California, Dream. At this point in time, it's only in NCR. Still, we don't have any news from Cebu and other provinces if they're adopting the no ride, no policy. However, some of the two carriers in the Philippines, the Philippine Airlines as well as the Cebu Pacific, had adopted it already. However, for other provinces in the Philippines, not yet. Should they do, I will keep you all updated. Thank you, Maris and California Dream. From Lionel Ancheta, how come no one includes the IATF protocol for those that test positive after their quarantine? How long before they get clearance to get out of isolation and proceed to their final destination? That's quite a great question, Lionel. So let me just give you the full details about it. So it is in relation to what Arlene had asked a while ago. So let me just give that to you. So recently, this is what they had just released earlier. So they have mentioned if ever you tested positive in the quarantine facility, so this is the updated isolation period. So if ever you tested positive and you might have a mild case, you might be asymptomatic, not manifesting any symptoms at all, or you have moderate case. So if that is the case, then therefore, it also will depend upon your vaccination status. How many days will you have to stay at the isolation hotel? So again, so for fully vaccinated, if you have a mild case, then you can stay 7 days from the onset of symptoms. If you're partially vaccinated, not vaccinated at all, then 10 days, you can stay in the isolation hotel from the onset of symptoms. And then for asymptomatic, then you can stay 7 days from the time that you got tested or from positive test. And for partially vaccinated or unvaccinated, at least 10 days from your positive test. Now, moderate case, regardless of your vaccination status, it will be 10 days from the onset of the symptoms. So these are the basics that we have. Now, before I discuss about the severe and the immunocompromised, when we say updated isolation period, let me just explain to you regarding the different types of hotels that we have here in the Philippines. We have 3 types of hotels. So the first one is the quarantine hotel, where everyone will be mandatorily asked to stay unless you're from the green country and you're fully vaccinated. From January 16 to 31, 2022. So quarantine hotel, it means that we're still taking a look if you are positive or not with COVID-19. Now, if someone has tested positive and had been proven that you are positive with COVID-19, then you need to be isolated. Now, before, there's a specific hotel for quarantine and specific hotel for isolation, meaning they got specific trainings for how to, ensure that the cleaning and everything that needs to be maintained for either a quarantine hotel or an isolation hotel. So those are only the accredited and certified hotels. Recently, just a few days ago, they said some of the quarantine hotels now will also be certified as isolation hotel. What does it mean? It means that there will be certain floors that they will choose that will only be for isolation. So not all rooms will be mixed with isolation and quarantine. No, that is not how it works. How it works is that, again, certain floors will be for quarantine and certain floors will be like a few floors will be for isolation, so that at least the thorough cleaning will be done and only authorized personnel will have to go to those floors, and to ensure that at least the spread of the virus will still be contained. So now, on that note, why am I sharing that? The third type of hotel, by the way, are the staycation hotels. They are not certified at all to become a quarantine and isolation hotel. So we do have those types of hotels. So well, once you will be booking for any hotel, just make sure that's DOH accredited or Department of Health accredited hotels, because if not, they will not accept you for quarantine purposes. Now, again, let me go back to the isolation. So if, for example, you are in a hotel quarantine that actually they also have isolation facilities. So what they will do is you can stay in that same hotel. So that at least you can continue your isolation. Now, if in case that hotel will not is not a hotel certified to become an isolation hotel, then you might be asked to, you will be recommended to move to a certain facility, but they will be arranging that for you, meaning the BOQ, DOH, and the hotel itself. So just a brief overview so that you'll have an idea as well. OFWs, on the other hand, so what I just shared is for non-OFWs. Similar, OFWs, the only thing is, again, O1 will be the one shouldering the cost for you, while for non-OFWs, and OFWs have to shoulder the cost. Now, if you are, let's take a look. If you are severe, if ever you have severe or critical, or you'll be in a critical case, regardless of the vaccination status, it will be 21 days from onset of the symptoms. And if it's someone who's immunocompromised, regardless again of the vaccination status, 21 days from the onset of symptoms with negative repeat RT-PCR test. It means that for the rest, we do not have any requirement for the repeat of the negative. We don't have any requirement for the repeat of the RT-PCR test. So that is the difference between those. But then again, as the medical practitioner will advise. So I hope this helps so that at least you'll have an idea about it. And then what else do we have? Oh, okay. This one, so just in case, for example, you're a couple and then you were staying in the same, especially for non-OFW and sometimes for OFWs as well. So if you're staying in the same hotel quarantine and once you got the swab test, one tested positive and one tested negative. So the one who tested positive will follow the one that I discussed a while ago, the protocols. For the one who tested negative, you will have to follow this. You will still have to stay in the isolation room, but then again, in the quarantine room actually, and then you still have to stay 5 days. So again, 5 days for fully vaccinated and 14 days for partially or unvaccinated, while of course your spouse will have to stay in the isolation area. So I hope that's quite clear. Should you have some more questions, just let me know. There's one more question from Charles Staff. Mom Jamey, is the antigen test allowed going back to the USA? Please answer. It really will be a big help for me. Yes, for the USA, antigen is allowed, as I mentioned. So it's either the RT-PCR or the antigen taken 24 hours before your departure. Lionel and Charles, thank you. From Zane Tyrell, for some reasons, I cannot see the part on where to upload the file. Did they update the website? Yes, they did. Zane, I did answer from your comment box. I did mention and gave you also the link of my new tutorial. So last December, they do still have what we call the upload button for the documents, but come January, they changed it again because the possible reason is a lot of people were encountering error when they were uploading the correct document, the correct format, but still the system of One Health Pass last December were not able to actually accept it. And so many complaints, maybe they have received that and it inconvenienced a lot of travelers. And I received tons of messages, really, a lot from our viewers, how the system is not accepting their documents. So I am actually glad they simplify the method, they simplify the system. So in short, you don't need to upload it. Just bring the documents with you, the vaccination certificate and the negative RT-PCR test hard copy. And then from Terry Laws. Terry Laws said, Jamey, thank you so much for taking time on my latest inquiry. Please to update us. Any hope of my partner Chris to come over to the Philippines anytime soon? God bless. Terry, you are most welcome. And should I hear or should I gather any information that Chris will be allowed or can be allowed to travel back in the Philippines, so as with other foreign nationals for tourism purposes, I'll let you all know. Zane, Terry, thank you so much. From Nina Krista Mendoza, hopefully foreign tourists, not yes, hopefully foreign tourists too. Okay, not just for a tour, but also to be to be with their loved ones. Yes, Nina Krista, I really do understand that a lot of course, us or the Filipinos have like friends, loved ones who are from the foreign nationals. So that's why it's quite great if soon they will be able to allow them to travel back to the Philippines. Let's see, slowly the number of cases of the COVID cases in our country is slowly decreasing, but it increased again today, but hoping tomorrow it will slowly again continue to decrease. And let's see by February. Now, Micaela Manuel said, Miss Jamey, question, my flight is on March 15th, Tuesday at 6 p.m. When do I need to do the RT-PCR test? Please reply because I need to make an appointment for the RT-PCR. Thanks again. Hi, Micaela. So, Micaela, for you, if we will still be having the same protocol as we have now, which is RT-PCR test should be taken within 48 hours before your flight. If it's March 15, that's your flight. So, March 15, 14, 13. So, March 13. Now, if 6 p.m. is your flight, then you can take the swab test at least 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m. onwards, as long as it's not earlier than March 13, 6 p.m. It should be onwards or like later. So, and please ensure, just like what you've said from the RT-PCR test provider, that they will be able to release to you the result before your actual flight, and get a hard copy or print copy, because that will be very helpful for you once you go back to the Philippines. Thank you, Nina Krista and Micaela. From Ricky Moraga, Dear Madam Jamey, I have a flight scheduled on January 25, 2022 at 9:30 p.m. My concern is, up to what date and time should I have to undergo my RT-PCR test? I understand that it should be 48 hours before my flight. I am so confused, so please help me to know what day and time should I have my COVID test. Thank you so much. I'm always watching your videos. Please stay safe. Hi, Ricky. I understand, and let me help you out with that. So if you will be flying January 25, 2022 at 9:30 p.m., you can have your swab test taken January 23. So that will be at 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and onwards, as long as, it's not lower than or it's not earlier than 9:30 p.m. And then please ensure to ask your swab test provider to release your result prior or before your flight. Stay safe, and thank you for always watching my videos. For Reynaldo Fry, so what do you do if you tested positive and you already booked your flight? Can I reschedule my flight and take another RT-PCR test until it's negative so I can travel back to the Philippines? Thanks. Feedback mostly appreciated. Yes, Reynaldo, that is what you can do. And that will be understandable from the airlines because it's the pandemic crisis. So you can actually reschedule your flight. So please inform them the earliest you got your result. So if ever that's positive, you let them know and tell them just an estimate. Like, for example, after 2 weeks, you can rebook the flight. And then, of course, you can confirm that once you have that certificate that you're already cleared from COVID-19. Now, latest. So this is the latest information that we've got from IATF under resolution number 158. The said arriving Filipinos may be allowed to enter the country if you present the following in lieu of the negative pre-departure RT-PCR test. So if, for example, you got positive, so positive RT-PCR test taken within 48 hours prior to the date of the time of departure from country or port of origin. So again, that was the initial test that you got positive. And then medical certificate issued by a licensed physician stating that you, as a traveler, after 2 weeks, let us just say, you have completed the mandatory isolation period and you're no longer infectious and has been allowed to free movement of travel. And last but not the least is again, positive RT-PCR test taken not earlier than 10 days, but not earlier than 30 days prior to date or time of departure from the country or port of origin. From Terry Griffin, hi Jamie, I have a daughter in the Philippines and my fiance. I just left to come back to the USA to get vaccinated. Am I allowed to enter to visit my daughter and my girlfriend? Have happily subscribed. Thank you in advance. You are most welcome, and thank you too for subscribing. Terry, my question is, what visa did you have when you were here in the Philippines? Is it a long-term and existing visa that is still valid until, within 2022? If that is the case, then you can still visit the Philippines as long as you have a valid visa. However, if you don't have any, then usually foreign tourists are not yet allowed in the Philippines at this point in time. However, we're looking forward, at least hoping by the coming months, it will be a little bit better and restrictions will be less. Let me just check that out, but let me know first and check what visa did you have when you were here in the Philippines. And when was that? Let me know. You can message me also from my FB inbox so that at least I could keep track of your messages and I can reply there. And anyone else who would like to message me, like if, for example, so that the conversation we can easily keep track through my inbox from my FB page. It's the same name, Jamey Iris TALK TV. So Terry, so I'll keep you updated, and again, we will have to check with Bureau of Immigration regarding that. But I need your response first, what type of visa you actually have when you were here in the Philippines, and take a look if it's still valid until now. From Jared Taiko, we OFWs and former Filipino follow the rules and regulations, but if there is a delay of the results of the RT-PCR test, then BOQ should shoulder expenses. Otherwise, lessen the quarantine days, or everyone should be on green list as long as fully vaccinated and negative RT-PCR test prior to arrival. Yes, I understand, Jared, your sentiments, and at the same time, the negative emotions that you're feeling about this, because it simply makes sense if the delay is caused by lacking a number of swab test provider or swab test laboratories, then at least the government should take into consideration or give consideration also, especially to the non-OFWs who's shouldering everything, from the airfare to the hotel to the swab test cost. So I think that's only fair and good. I hope they could take this into consideration or shorten the quarantine, just like what you've said. And we kept mentioning that to the government. So hoping, as I can see, the restrictions are less strict since January 16 until 31, 2022. Let's see this coming February what will be for the further updates as the COVID cases are decreasing. Thank you, Terry, and thank you, Jared, as well. So with that, everyone, I simply want to say thank you so much for watching this episode, and I hope you find this episode very helpful and informative. If you do, please click like, and at the same time, if this is your first time to visit my channel, I'm inviting you to please subscribe to my channel so that you'll get updated with videos such as this and other videos that will be very helpful for you. So once again, everyone, this is Jamey Iris of Jamey Iris TALK TV, simply saying thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching, everyone.